Hey NPS first graders, it's Miss Angie and Piper. Say hello, boys and girls. I am here to read you a story this evening, and hopefully our friend Piper will cooperate and she will sit beside me and she will just be cute. Look how cute she is while I read the story. She's a little sleepy, so she might fall asleep. We shall see. But the story that I chose to read you tonight is called A House is a House for Me by Mary Ann Haberman. And I chose this book because, like me, I'm sure you guys are spending a lot of time at your house right now. So let's read about all the different houses for many different things. A house is a house for me. A hill is a house for an ant. A hive is a house for a bee. A hole is a house for a mole or a mouse. And a house is a house for me. A web is a house for a spider. A bird builds its nest in a tree. There's nothing so snug as a bug in a rug. And a house is a house for me. A coop, that's a house for a chicken. A sty, that's a house for a sow. A fold, that's where sheep all gather to sleep. A barn, that's a house for a cow. It's also, of course, a house for a horse. A kennel's a house for a dog, a dog. A dog is a house for a flea. But when a dog strays, a flea sometimes stays, and then it may move in on me. Piper, you don't have any fleas, do you? She said no. Houses for rabbits are hutches. A house for a mule is a shed. A castle's a house for a duchess. A bed bug beds down in a bed. We don't want any of those either. Mosquitoes like mud holes or puddles. Whales need an ocean or sea. A fish or a snake may make do with a lake. But a house is a house for me. A shell is a dwelling for a shellfish, for oysters and lobsters and clams. Each snail has a shell and each turtle as well, but not any lions or lambs. Lions live out in the open. Monkeys live up in a tree. Hippos live down in a river. Now, what do you know about me? An igloo's a house for an Eskimo. A teepee's a house for a Cree. A pueblo's a house for a Hopi. And a wigwam may hold a Mohi. A garage is a house for a car or a truck. A hangar is a house for a plane. A dock or a ship is a is a house for a ship. And a terminal's a house for a train. A husk is a house for a corn ear. A pod is a place for a pea. A nutshell's a hut for a hickory nut, but what's a shelter for me? A glove is a house for a hand. A stocking's a house for a knee. A shoe or a boot is a house for a foot. And a house is a house for me. A box is a house for a tea bag. A teapot's a house for some tea. If you pour me a cup and I drink it all up, then the tea house will turn into me. Cartons are houses for crackers. Castles are houses for kings. The more that I think about houses, the more things are houses for things. And if you get started in thinking, I think you will find it is true that the more that you think about houses for things, the more things are houses to you? Barrels are houses for pickles, and bottles are houses for jam. A pot is a spot for potatoes. A sandwich is home for some ham. The cookie jar's home to the cookies. The bread box is home to the bread. My coat is a house for my body. My hat is a house for my head. Perhaps I have started far-fetching. Perhaps I'm stretching things some. A mirror's a house for reflections. A throat is a house for a hum. But once you get started in thinking, you think and you think and you think. How pockets are houses for pennies, and pens can be houses for ink. How peaches are houses for peach pits, and sometimes are houses for worms. How trash cans are houses for garbage, and garbage makes houses for germs. Ew, look at all that yucky garbage. And envelopes, earmuffs, and eggshells, and bathrobes, and baskets, and bins, and rag bags, and rubbers, and roasters, and tablecloths, and toasters, and tins. Those are all houses for something. And once you get started in thinking this way, it seems that whatever you see is either a house or it lives in a house. And a house is a house for me. A book is a house for a story. A rose is a house for a smell. My head is a house for a secret. A secret I never will tell. A flower's at home in a garden. A donkey's at home in a stall. Each creature that's known has a house of its own. And the earth is a house for us all. Isn't that a great story about all the different houses things have? So what I thought I would have you guys do, if your parents say okay, and if you'd like, maybe you could make a house as sort of a STEM activity. I will show you a house that my daughter made in, I think, 4th grade. She made a house out of sticks. They're popsicle sticks, and we used hot glue. Do you know what kind of house this is? It's a cabin. She did a project last year where she used this as one of the houses in her project. So maybe if your parents have some supplies around the house that you could build a house with, you could maybe make a house out of popsicle sticks or toothpicks, or you could even build a house out of playing cards. You could build a house out of a shoe box or a cereal box. Any type of box would do great. So how about work on that maybe tonight and tomorrow if you have some time and your parents say it's okay. 1st grade, build some houses and send pictures to your teachers and show us how creative you can be. And that's all for tonight. Say goodbye, Piper. Say bye. We look forward to seeing you guys soon.